I think it's a common problem for a lot of us enthusiast photographers that we're often stuck with photographing the familiar or the mundane, and we can get into a creative rut. So in this video, we're looking at a simple exercise to get out of that rut. Hi, Peter Charles here of Hooked for Life Photography. And let's talk about a common problem I think every photographer has faced once in a while, and some of us face it frequently. And that is the fact that our creative energies are kind of bleh. We can't seem to get going. And this is especially true if we're stuck in the same place, same rut, photographing the same thing. It's nice to go on vacation and take some beautiful photos of some exotic spot. That's easy to get your creative juices flowing. But what happens when you're surrounded by the familiar all of the time? You can drive out the countryside, but it's the same old countryside. You can go walk downtown, but it's the same old downtown. So what can you do to improve on that and, take photos in a new, different way, with a different light, with a different creative energy? Photographing the familiar gets tough. Let's face it, it does get tough. So I'm going to put up some photos that I took just about an hour or so ago. And I took them in my office. And that's a space where I spend much of my time. It's about as familiar a space as a person can get. And I took about 30 odd photos, and I've probably put a little less than half them up here. There's no editing whatsoever. They're straight out of the camera, flaws and all. And that's not the point. The point is, what can you do in a familiar space and photograph in a creative way, let the creative energies flow and not overthink it. So what did I do? I've got some pretty simple equipment here. Just an X-T3 with a 50mm prime lens, and I set it to black and white. Kept it simple. So I think that's number one. Keep this simple. And the second thing is set yourself a time limit. I did this in 12 minutes, just a little over 12 minutes. So, take as many photos as you can within 15 minutes without thinking. The point of the time limit is not to overthink things, which can be a creativity killer. So let's take a look at them, and then we'll talk about them later. Okay, there you go. They're not works of art. They'll never win any awards. They won't go up in any exhibit anywhere. But it does give you an idea of what you can do if you start to look at the familiar, the banal, in new ways. And that's really the point of this little exercise, is to get those creative energies flowing again by being able to go into a familiar space, a familiar downtown, a familiar countryside, and see something new. And that's really the point. And that way we can develop our creative energies, that creative muscle, and build on our talents. And as I say, can start with nothing more than walking around with a very simple, basic rig and photographing the ordinary, photographing the familiar. So give it a try. Cheers.